Hey kids, Russ Maines here again from Rocket Science. So as you remember from the last video that we made a couple days ago, I was talking about the Kiesel Aries multi-scale 7-string guitar, which I recently purchased, and apparently I'm a fanboy of. I don't mind necessarily. Carvin makes good products. But anyway, we did a video on kind of how the guitar may have sounded like a little bit with clean, and I made a comment in the video that I wanted to go through what the guitar sounds like in a Carvin XB or X100B amplifier, which has a little bit of a dirty sound. It's not a dual rectified or anything like that, but it's just sort of a regular tube driven amp, which I think actually brings out a lot of great tonal qualities in the guitar. So we're going to start there, and we're going to go through that process. But over the last few days, I've been thinking about there's a lot of other things that you as musicians, or we as musicians in the community, kind of need to come together and teach to kids who want to play out. I've been playing out in bands probably for the last 20 years or something like that. When I was in college, I played out in a band called Get Russ Laid, which I thought was kind of cool. Then we played as Magic Bucket and the Bed Spins, and then after I graduated from college, I went to Florida, and I played in a band there called Siren. Lady and the Tramps is another one I played around in. I played with people like Doug Perkins, who was Ike and Tina Turner's keyboard player back in the 1970s, taught me a lot. And I played with guys like Craig Manning from Beyond Reason, Adrian Langlois from our band actually, and he's got another thing going on in Destin, in Pensacola right now with his band. So I've been around a little bit, and what I wanted to do was kind of show you some of the things that you're going to run into. If you've never played out before, there's some things you're going to really kind of need to know that will make your life a lot easier. And even Adrian, at his age, is starting to figure out that one of the biggest things you can do is to take whatever rig you have and pare it down to its simplest kind of output. That's something that musicians struggle with all the time. It's like, well, how many pedals do I need to take? How big is the amp it got to be? And after a while, you get tired of lugging all this crap around. And unless you're big and you have roadies and you have tons of people, you're going to be on your own. So you need to know how much stuff you need to take and how to keep things simple and at the same time robust enough to get you through the night. So here's just a little tip for some of you guys out there who've never played out before in a club. One of the things that you're going to need, actually two of the things you're going to need when you're out there setting up your equipment. The first thing you're going to need, which is really important, is a flashlight. Because as you know, the clubs are dark, notoriously, and typically what happens is the stage is painted black, and you lose everything because whatever light there is just gets absorbed, and you can't really see anything. So having a flashlight is really important. The other thing, of course, is I find to be a little bit of a secret trick that I've used, is to carry a little bit of masking tape with you. Masking tape is good to kind of keep chords in place so you don't trip over them, which you can do. There are tons of chords all over the place on a stage. That is if you're not running wireless. So you carry masking tape with you, and what you can do, let's say you have one of those pedals that you stomp on and it just blinds you as soon as you turn it on. Well, you take a little bit of masking tape and you put it over top of the button or the LED display light that tells you that it's on. We just put that tape over top of that, so that way you know it's on, but you're not getting blinded by these LEDs. It's bad enough that you have to focus on actually entertaining the crowd without being dazzled by your own equipment, right? So anyway, those are two things I wanted to offer you. And as time goes on with this experiment that I'm doing, I'll tell you more about it. But I want to make sure that the content that I have is free or cheap. There are tons of people out there who love making money off of musicians. And this is where I'm getting off on my soapbox. It seems like every time you turn around, there's another website or another expert out there telling you to spend your hard-earned money on their internet technique to sell you to sell your music. That's great. I give tons of credit to people who are trying to make money in the music business, but time and time again, what you see is the artist seems to be the last person to ever get paid. You have producers, you got engineers, you have marketing people that need to get paid, and by the time all that stuff gets whittled down to your level, you're making 17 cents for every dollar that everybody else is making. So what I wanted to do was to help you with this rocket science thing that I'm doing, to help actually build a community and get us all talking together, because even in this day and age, it seems like the little guy's always getting screwed. So I want to make sure that when we start building this thing, that whatever the content is, whether it's on a YouTube site or whether it's on my own website that I'll be making, that the content is, if it's not free, it'll be damn near free. And the reason I want to give that to you is, or offer it to it at a really, really super low price, if at all, is because I've been there. I mean, as a guy who had his own band and paying everybody, it seemed like I was doing all the marketing, all the internet stuff, making all the videos and all this stuff just to get things started in the band. And then what happens is when we go out and play the gig, everybody else gets paid exactly the same amount of money that I got paid. $100 a person typically, right? When you're playing out in the clubs. So anything I can do to help make your life a lot easier and faster, so you don't have to spend so much time figuring all this stuff out, to me is, you know, I'm doing you a favor because I've been there. So anyway, let's get back to the main course, which is what this guitar sounds like on my my Carvin amplifier. So let me go ahead and plug in, and I'll give you a demonstration. Hold on. What I'm going to let you know is some of the technical stuff that's going on. I have the guitar plugged into my Dirty channel, which you've seen previously, but here's the video of it. And you can see that the amp is approximately on 3. There's a reason for that. The reason that your amp is set on 3 is because when you have your amp actually set lower than that, it doesn't respond very well to the strings, and you don't get the tones that you really want. So crank your amp up to 3. If you don't want to take my word for it, there's other content out there where people have shown this to be true. So that's why my amp it's at 3. And now I'm running it through the same architecture I had last time. A little bit of fat boost, clean boost, a little bit of delay, and some analog chorus. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the guitar with and without the lead boost, and you'll hear, hopefully, the difference that this guitar actually produces as a function of a little extra kick in that in the lead tone. Okay, so here's what the guitar sounds like just by itself in the Dirty channel with the no boost. Okay, here's what it sounds like with the boost. Can you hear that difference? If not, let's try again. Without boost and with boost. See, so you can tell as a player, I love to play with my lead channel on all the time because I get more tone out of it. So what you can do is kind of cheat the system and just use a volume pedal. When you push the volume pedal down, your lead goes up, and you can put a piece of cork or something underneath of the pedal so that it's a stop. And so when you push it down, you get, you know, your little extra lead, and then you back it off, you're, you know, right where you need to be back in your mix. So I happen to like the lead boost, and I like to play with it open as much as possible. Anyway, thank you for joining me for today's lesson. If you have any questions, make sure that you write them down in the comment section below, right down there, okay? Write them in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to share this with your friends, because I'm really out here trying to help you guys, and I've seen a lot of really bad bands in my life, and I'm tired of it, okay? Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. This is Russ Maines. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you next time.